Okay. Let's angle this out into some sunshine because there is light to be had. I know what we do. Slightly better light. There we go. Right. I'm not going to drink on my hand. I literally just hit record. And as you guys will see when I post this, it is the eve of Pride. It's a Friday, so the streets are full of people. And I am looking at this camera, yes. The streets are full of people. It's a massive party already happening in London. There's party, as I like to say, some take it to the streets, others take it to the sheets. But I am doing a video, which usually when I do videos, they are of me out in London. I'm walking along the Thames somewhere. I'm seeking a level of solitude. I'm reflecting on things. But because it's Pride, I'm just like, I'm happy. And it's kind of weird when I walked in. Not having a drink in my hand is one thing, but it's amazing breathalyzer. I'm sure I would be a little bit of an alcoholic right now, with a little bit of the limit, but I actually feel quite sober. It's like, okay, let's like work the 16 and start talking about what you've all been probably worried about me for. And I've got this little shit on my hair from my hat. If I stop fidgeting around, I will actually be able to talk about something quite important and something that I'm sure you've all seen in certain types of my Facebook, or have seen me in person at different stages of my recovery. Let's call it my recovery because it is a transitional period for me where I am on the road to a better tomorrow. It sounds like some American Independence Day slogan, making a better America. Let's not do that. But I thought I would just go on record and just say a few words to talk about what mental health and mental illness means to me. I've always been pretty on the ball, let's say. I can't look at the camera anymore. I'm just going to look at myself in the screen because it's much easier than focusing on one little thing because I might look cross-eyed. Mental health in terms of me has always been, well, now I say it's always been a struggle because at school I was one of the most intelligent people in my year. One of the most intelligent in my year. I was head boy. I was power crazed. I was hungry for absorbing information, absorbing knowledge, because at that point in my life, that's what I was into, or what I enjoyed doing. I love my science, I love my maths, I love my geography, capitals of the world, learning deck of cards after being shuffled up. My mind just absorbed information, and that's what I got into: astrophysics, astronomy. I did for my degree. It took me to America for a year abroad. And it got to a point where I don't know whether it was my mind that stopped me from doing it, but my mind just stopped absorbing information, or just stopped using that part of my brain that would seek more in there. And currently, right now, I'm not actually, I don't have a diagnosis for what sort of condition. I say the condition because it is an ongoing process. And think it's a combination of anxiety, depression. When I was at school at 16, I had a very close friend who was going through that very same thing, and she is now, well, you know who you are. You know people who know who she is. Now married, living with her husband and a fantastic family up north, up Long. And I feel quite proud that how far she's come. And the weird way, in like 15 years later, it's kind of been happening to me. But based on what I knew back then, and based on how I've always been around people who have had problems with self-awareness, self-confidence. Still get back in my throat. That I developed a sixth sense in a way to always be aware of people, be aware of their character, be aware of their strengths, be aware of their weaknesses. And in a weird way, from my degree of astrophysics and space and maths and complicated equations and diagrams and graphs and statistics and complex numbers and all that lot, I went into catering. I went into working in pubs and hospitality. I actually started liking food and wanted to cook and wanted to be a chef and a catering, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. And the one question that's always kind of followed me since that part, when my degree stopped and I started working in pubs and bars, and I realised that that's what I wanted to do, or that's the kind of person I am now, people still ask me to this day, oh, astrophysics, wow, you must be so intelligent, or you must be, why are you now working in a pub or a bar, because why are you not doing your degree? And the simple answer for that now is, because I want to. But back then, or a part of me was always doubtful, I didn't know quite where my life was going. I'm giving you guys a very quick rundown of my perception of how I think my life has changed, or how I think my life has. Don't know if I've changed it or it's changed me, but there's something happening right now that's making me want to share the story. And I'm sure you're all very bored by now because it's now 6 minutes in and everyone's like, oh, would he shut up? But all this as well is coming up to making sense part of it. But yeah, that's just one example of what I have now, to what I had back then, to how I have to stop trying to use that question or that box that people say, astrophysics, pub, bartender. Because those two things don't translate as easily in modern day society, I lived in a household where it made sense. I grew up in a generation where it makes sense. But now, it's not translatable as quickly because people still live in this world where we don't understand the jump. And that has always been what I've struggled with in terms of me having an identity. Because I can't translate it in physical proof, I can't always explain what it is in terms of a doctorate, owning my own restaurant, or doing something that makes everyone believe that what I did was the right choice, or what I made for myself is the right thing, because I'm still getting there. I'm 31, and I heard someone on the radio the other day saying, oh my god, he's 33 and doing this. I'm like, oh, that's kind of like my age now. But I am a gay man. We're getting to this slowly. And living as a gay man for now since I was 18. But living in London as a gay man in the past 5 years has really pushed this... The box that I try not to live in is being pushed out. But in order to find other boxes to let people see me in, I've had to create smaller boxes. This is such a weird analogy to make, so let's scratch that. But gay men who have given me this speech or this, like, when it comes to things you can't deal with, put it into a box, lock it, put it in your pocket. And then when you come time to looking ready to tackling it or understanding or trying to understand what it is, you take the box out, find the key, open it up again and go, this is now what I do with it. But sometimes, especially in London, being a gay man, where there are so many other distractions and influences and ways to live your life, ways to change your life, and ways to destroy your life, can come around to bite you in behind. We'll call this part 1, because we're now at 10 minutes, and I think I should stop talking for this, because all this is going to have to be a whole different 10-minute video, because he is next.